So today is Friday, November 1st and 9:21 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. It's a year. Why I say it's a year not for this channel yet. It's only about 5 months. But it's a year from where kind of my deepest challenges started. November of 2023. You know, where times there's a saying that time heals everything, and it is true. Time does heal everything. You just figure out ways to live with it, because they say that when you still have the memories of the challenges but no emotion attached to that event anymore, then you're fully healed. If you think of it that something that may have happened in your childhood, you have those experiences, even if they're difficult, you remember those memories as is, but the emotions, there may be some still residue, but the deepest hurt or emotions are not there anymore. That is a sign that you have healed. So for me, there still might be some residue, of course, but I'm grateful to God that all of that happened. Sometimes. So there's this song by Celine Dion. I've been listening to it lately a lot. And in that song, the one line says, when you want it the most, there is no easy way out. If you want your life to be most enriching, you cannot walk the easy path, because the easy path will bring you short-term happiness, but in the longer term, there's too much pain in that. For long-term happiness, you have to go through the short-term or even medium-term difficulties and challenges. You want to learn and overcome those, because when you do that, it makes you more resilient, it makes you more stronger, because life will throw a lot of things at you, a lot of new challenges to you, no matter how old you are. They're 20, 30, 50, 60. And every single time there will be things that you have not dealt with before. And more we go through those challenges, and we have tools that we build ourselves, because for different people the tools are a little different, and you learn from either from self-help, from religion, or whatever that may be, or from friends or coach or guide, but we all have our unique way to make it our own. And then when we have those multiple methods, how we go through those tough times, how we work through those challenges, every time it just becomes a little easier. And like I talk about, you can talk it as the tolerance or patience or whatever that may be, the resilience, right? It's like a rubber band. If it started here when we're born, it's here, and then it grows. We all, no matter how we are raised, there are difficulty and challenges we go through, and then we learn to live with it. And some of the small things doesn't affect us, and maybe it's here. But as we go through the difficulty, that resiliency that builds up. And you know how, like Buddhist monk, nothing affects them because, or even if they do, they know how to make sure that it does not affect their inner peace, and that's the goal. Now we don't all have to become Buddhist monk, but the point is, less and less it impacts us. We live less on the valley state and we live more on the peak state. And the valley and peak comes from how Tony Robbins defines it. Valley is where we are sad, angry, and all the negative emotions. And peak is where we are happy and spreading peace, joy, happiness, and speaking positive and uplifting things, all of that. Because that is important. That is important to remember, that when we are dwelling in the valley, that we need to get to the peak, even if we can't get there right away. Excuse me. And if you have a support system, good friends who pull you up, that's even better. But a lot of time you have to do it yourself, because everybody's life is busy. Everybody is going through something in their life, and a lot of time you will get help, but sometimes you may not, and then you have to figure out your own way to get there. And more you do it, and it becomes a habit. And for me, since last November, as I said, it's a year. Where I was late last year to where I am today, emotionally, I could not predict it in a good way. And that's the thing. The beauty of life is, I remember a friend was, I call him a friend, but he worked for me, but that's how I kind of look at my team members. I try to create an environment like that. He was like, Anju, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it's a known saying, but when sometimes a friend tells you, then you kind of, you internalize it in a very good way. And that's what happened to me. I became so much stronger for all the experiences that I went through in the last couple of years, especially. It has helped me to grow in so many ways. And I believe the growth mindset, and there's a reason why they say growth mindset, right? It's in our mind. The actual growth happens is in our mind. We can go get so many degrees, but if we don't internalize it, then we are still depriving ourselves from the growth, right? So for me, it is that sorry, I had to drink some water. Internalizing that growth, that no matter what happens, you get back up and keep going, keep your head high. Yesterday I was talking to a friend who's going through a lot of difficulty, and I told him that, keep your head high and keep going, and remind yourself everything is impermanent. And in the evening I was talking to another friend, and she is also going through a lot of difficulty, and so this was a very close friend of mine, and I was going through some difficulty in the last week or so. I mean, we all do. But in the last couple of days, I am so grateful that some of the events I attended, Bible study, and events related to that, people have been so nice to me, and I was able to focus more on God. God magnifies, whatever you focus on, that magnifies. They reminded me of that, and that made me feel happier, and I was able to be a good support for my friend. And so we talked for a little bit, and then I sent her I wanted to send something unique that makes her feel better. So I kept thinking and searching different things, and I came up with this like a little poem for her to feel better. And I used ChatGPT, and I told her that I did use ChatGPT. I sent it to her, and she was not feeling very good. So last night she slept very early. So this morning she said she liked it so much that she got tears in her eyes seeing that poem, and she's like, "Oh, I want to frame it." These are the little things that in life, these are the little things that we remember, right? Um, it's not big things. I didn't buy her like I don't know, like $50 present. It was something, a thoughtful gesture. Um, I told her that I wanted to send something unique to her. I knew her life challenges, what she's going through. I wanted to write a poem, but I'm not good at writing poem, but I had the idea. So I got it from ChatGPT, and that's the good use of AI, It's all this AI talk they talk about, it can bring so much challenges at the same time. Imagine it can bring the bring tears to somebody's in a good way. I couldn't write that poem myself. I had the idea, but it was something that made her feel so much better. So all the things in life is like that, how we use it, right? There are things, there are tools, how we use it makes a big difference. So if you've heard my talk from yesterday, my morning journal, you have heard that I talked about how Alice, my daughter, she at her school, when they were doing some arts and craft, and one of the thing was that they had to okay, if you are a president of your country, how do you design your map, flag, how do you design your flag? And she had a heart, it's a white little card, and then she had a pink heart in that flag, and it made me so proud, made me feel so inspired. So I made sure to tell her that last evening. I told her she was kind of sleepy by then after her Halloween trick-or-treating. And then this morning I told her, and then I told her, like, I feel so inspired. And I even asked her, how did you get that idea from? She's like, I don't know. So, but I kind of made her think about that, and I'm like, Mom is so proud. I feel so inspired that you did that, for every country, especially this country now can use a lot of love. So, those little things make a difference. And I know that she will remember that, my daughter, she would remember that. Those little moments, they build, I'm not a perfect mom, but, I try to make sure that I try to do as best as I can for her. I know she will grow up as a very strong, resilient woman. She knows the meaning of the word resilient. A couple of days ago, we were talking about something, and I asked her, like, somehow it came up. I was like, you know the meaning of the word resilient? She's like, yes. I was like, wow. 8-year-old. In a few months, she'll turn 9. Excuse me. We all, as parents, we want to lessen our kids' pain in some way, as much as possible. But some things in our hands and some things are not. And we just gotta do our best. Okay, so that made me emotional. I didn't expect for that to happen, but that's reality, right? As you all know, that these videos I make, they're real, they're raw. They're journals. So I don't edit it, I don't cut, I just keep it as is. Because I hope that in the future, because life is full of hardships and happiness and passion, and it's all of this joy, laughter, everything mixed together. It's a mixed bag. Life is a mixed bag, and sometimes we forget that, especially when we are at the thick of it, when we are very sad about something. We forget that that is also not going to last forever, just like happiness is also not going to last forever. So that's why we want to, in our sad moments when we are in the valleys, we have to remind ourselves that is not permanent. And at the same time, when we're happy, then also we want to enjoy the most, because that is not permanent either. I was talking to a friend, and so in the United States, the election is in 4 or 5 days. Today is November 1st, election is November 5th, and many people are anxious, and a friend of mine was, with a lot of the other things, was also talking about the election anxiety, and I'm like, this is something you have to say, that you can't control. We just have to, the things we can't control, we just have to accept, and that is where our power lies, right? So just, that is the outside of the circle of what we can control. What we can control is everything related to us. If I want to go to the gym today, if I want to, in my case, I have to apply for jobs, I have to do that. And eat healthy, because I'm trying to lose weight. All of these are in my control. And making this video, pray to God, all of this. I'll be going to Toastmasters this evening. These are all what I can do. Anything related to I is what I can control. Anything that comes outside of I is not in our control, including our children and their who they want to become when they grow up. We can influence that so that they stay in the right path and don't do things that's going to harm them. But at the end of the day, it is still something that we can only influence. We can't fully control. So I was telling him that I go see the election news also, but in my case, the thing I do is I go there for inspiration, and people might be, what? So for me, that's the thing. you can draw inspiration from the weirdest thing out in the world, but you gotta be looking for what you're looking for, right? In that, meaning, so Tony Robbins has this thing. He does an experiment as part of some of his training. I haven't attended his in-person training, but I've seen many videos where he talks about inspiration, motivation, etc. And he talks about, okay, look for everything in the room that is brown, and then close your eyes, and then he would say, like, okay, open your eyes and tell me what all you have seen that is red. And people are like puzzled. The point is that if you are looking for the brown, you're gonna look for only brown. You won't even notice where the red is, even though there are red in the room. So that's a really powerful story to tell us, to internalize that thought that we will be looking for what only we are looking for, even if the thing that is there right next to it, we won't pay attention to it if we are not looking for that. And he even emphasizes the point that our brain, we want to win, so we even look for closer things. And he says that when you're looking for brown, just so that you can find more brown in the room, something that was close to brown but not really brown, you even thought that was brown because our mind wants to win. And so that's the point. If you have 3 brown things and there is like 2 other things that are close to brown but not brown, but you're like there are 5. Similarly, when you're looking for red, let's say there are 5 red things and there are 2 other that are reddish but not red but more like orange, you would count also those 2. It'll be like, oh, there are 7 red. So the point is that what we are looking for, we are going to see that. And it goes with yesterday I was talking about, used this example of this purple post-it, is that also what Wayne Dyer said, you have to believe it without seeing it, only then it will appear. It's a normal thinking, our realistic thinking is that when it shows up, when I see it, I'll believe it. You have heard this thing all the time, when I see it, I'll believe it. But then that's no belief at all. That also comes from Abraham Lincoln. So you can see all those big people, Tony Robbins, Dwayne Dyer, Abraham Lincoln, and all the big people, they just say it different ways. When you're trying to manifest something, you cannot wait to see it to believe it, because when you can see it, everybody sees it. If you are extraordinary, if you want to be extraordinary, you have to believe it before you see it. All the big inventions, including this iPhone that I am recording this video, and also the tripod that I'm using, somebody had to imagine it, and then somebody had to, it was just in their imagination. It did not exist, but in their mind they believed it. They really believed that, okay, something like that can be there and people can use it. And then it became a reality, and then everybody else believed. So there is no extraordinary power in believing that what you can see, everybody else does it. But if you can be the person who can see it just from your belief that nobody else sees, and that's the power. And those are the leaders that inspire us. So yeah, I know I talked a little bit about election and kind of went there sideways, but that's the point. So that's I try to believe, and it also comes from my daughters, that heart she had and the flag, that, be kind to each other, love each other, because love is not only about love between partners, it's the unconditional love you can have for your kids, the unconditional love you can have for your neighbors, your society, your community. Because the other name of love is patience, understanding, forgiveness, positivity. All of this, these are intangible things, but in life, the intangibles are the most tangible things in the longest run, because intangible things are what become big in the longer term. Because all the tangible things, either it's, don't get me wrong, the tangible things, you have a big house, a nice car, whatever, those does bring some sort of happiness, but for longer lasting happiness, what stays in your heart is those intangible things. When we die, which we all are going to someday, we don't think about the car that we drove or the house or things like that, but we would be happy to surround ourselves with people that love us and we love them, and that's the greatest joy you can hope for when you die, right? Because that touches our soul, and no matter what religion you believe in, there's a soul that every religion believes, right? That there's a conscious mind, our body, and then there is this deepest part that we can't locate where it is. Some would say it's in our brain, some would say it's in our heart. There is that inside deepest part of us, some would say superconscious, that passes on. And when we have that love, generosity, kindness, all of that as that part of that super consciousness, or whichever one, whatever you want to call that as, that soul, that's contentment. And passing on our life as when we are content is the best thing we can do. Yeah, so these days throughout the day, as part of these videos, and thanks to all of you for your thumbs up on the videos and comments, and people are so nice and kind and encouraging. I see these good comments and it really inspires me. Thank you so much. Some of the things I say, they say that it resonates with them. It makes me feel so good. It helps me to keep going. I plan on doing these videos every single day in the days, months, and years to come. And when I see that it resonated with somebody and they felt inspired, it inspires me. It helps me to even keep going no matter what in life. You have seen when I make some videos, my day was like from outer world is so normal, but I feel happy with the little things. And this is the cup I drink my coffee from. Enjoy the little things. I'm big into coffee cups with inspiring writing on them, and they're from dollar store, by the way. So it makes me feel inspired, starting my day with something positive. And by the way, these are gratitude cards. If you don't know what they are, gratitude cards. About 5 years ago, I used to work in a place, and I started that. At that time, I actually didn't even know what gratitude cards or wall is, and I made that for this 100 people team, and that resulted with such good positivity and uplifting experience for everybody. And in the company, the leaders, they wanted to for the CEO. They wanted to spread it to the rest of the part of the organization, and then so I talked to other teams, and they tried to adopt that too. So anyway, but starting this January, I did it at home. I'm like, oh, I did it at work. Why didn't I do it at home? And because 3 gratitude a day makes a big difference. There are a lot of research. Your physical body even can get better from that, because our mind is looking for those positive things, because it becomes a habit. And recently I learned that when you do 3 new gratitude every day, that's even better, because then it is not monotonous. It's like you're looking for something, new things to be grateful for in your present moment, even if it is not just today, maybe yesterday, something happening tomorrow, but it kind of stays right where you are, and it kind of shows that in your life, even if something is very challenging, there are still things that we can be grateful for, like the roof over our head and having this table and the chairs and the computer. I mean, little things, right? Even that makes a big difference. So I try to do this is off camera quite a bit. Gratitude practice, intention setting, and visualization, and using my senses to be in the present moment, smelling, tasting, and the sound. And finally, the affirmation or the mantra, whatever call it as. If all of this seems too much, you can always just stick to one, like practice gratitude, 3 gratitude, and if you can do that as soon as you get up in the morning and or just before going to bed, it's even more effective, because they say our subconscious is most effective 5 minutes before going to bed, because it's almost like it's almost you are placing the order, like in Amazon terms, you're placing the order. You have all of these things on your wish list, but you put it in your cart and place the order, right? And then your mind, because when we sleep, our subconscious mind connects with the universe, a God, or anything that you believe, that higher power, right? And when we do that, because anything that, like, our negative side and the positive side, and before we go to bed, it kind of becomes neutral. So when it becomes neutral, the resistance is lowest. So it kind of, if you wanted to go at 80 miles an hour with the resistance during the day, the 80 miles could be slowed down to maybe 50, 40, depending on what all you have going on in your life. But before going to bed, because the resistance comes down, the negativity comes down, if you wanted to go at 80 miles an hour, it'll go at 80 miles an hour. And that's why it's important to do it before going to bed or after you get up in the morning. So for me, I listen to prayer videos before I sleep. And when I get up, I listen to prayer videos right away. But that is what works for me. You gotta find what works for you, what resonates with you, and that can be life-changing. After you do it for a while, it can be life-changing. Your your mind will keep looking for the positive. I know how I was feeling at the end of last year and how I feel at the end of this year. A lot of things, the outer world is still very similar, but my inner world is very different, just because like you're practicing. So you just have to find what works for you. For me, it was really, really important that I keep practicing these things, and I had a community, and I'm so grateful that I do have a community now, multiple, actually, group of friends and other communities from the church, and and some believe in the same things and some don't, and that's okay. Because in a way, this is actually good, because you get different perspective from different people who believe in different things, and that's the beauty of it, to be open to hear other people's thoughts and ideas who may not believe the same things that we do, because that kind of opens up our mind to look at it from different perspective. And through it all, my biggest inspiration, my daughter, I hope that I can inspire her in some way, so that she can inspire the rest of the world, because she wants to. And I'll be a happy mama with that. She's a smart kid. I know I kind of get a little emotional talking about that. Just the biggest gift God gave me. Okay, so I'll do a little intention setting and visualization, and what I do with that is I just take a few deep breaths. I relax my body, especially my shoulders. In my case, it's shoulders. In your case, you might feel tension in other parts of your body. Just relax it. Even if you do a few seconds a day, it makes a difference. And you kind of visualize everything going good, the things you're expecting, and just getting it out there in the universe, to God, anything that you believe in. And I don't do it too far. I just do it, in this case, today's Friday, so for this weekend. Second would be for the week. Third would be for next weekend. And it does help. Trust me, it does help big time. So and I think I'm going to do the affirmations. So I trust in God. I speak positive and uplifting words. I have self-control. I spread love, peace, joy, harmony, patience. I live in the present moment. I'm kind. I let go. I let go the things that don't resonate with me, or from the past that no longer serve me. I forgive all people and events from the past. I look for positive in all situations and in everything. I'm kind, I'm resilient, I'm strong, and I'm persistent. And no matter what, I keep focusing on my goal. So you have seen me touching my body parts that I learned from something from YouTube. I have the affirmation tied to the body parts. That one thing it does is you kind of remember those, because I used to forget them. And second, it helps you to internalize them more. I've noticed that I remember them. Not only I remember them, but throughout the day, here and there, I kind of remember that I need to be more patient, that I need to live in the present moment. I want to be kinder in this situation. So over time, it makes a big difference. So that's why I do that. Yeah, I know I talked about doing it off camera, but I'm kind of in the zone and in the flow, so I thought I'll just do it. So I'm going to use my senses as well. I can't really smell anything. I'm pretty sure there is some smell in the house, but I can't, because in their own house you can smell anything. As far as sound goes, I can hear my voice, and outside, I don't know, I think it's a sound of a car or a plane, because it's very, very faded, so I can't really hear, but I hear a small sound. And sometime around this time, the birds are chirping outside, but I can hear it through the window. As far as what I can see outside to the window, I can see that the trees are more than half empty now. They're yellow, some are red, because it's fall time here in the East Coast of the United States. most of the leaves have fallen down, and this is also nature's time of renewal, where things fall, and in spring it will, it'll come up again. And nature goes through this process, and sometime in our life we have to go through this process. And I really, really love the ground where we have a bunch of trees, and the leaves, when they fall down, this is like so meditative. So I'm just soaking it in. As far as taste goes, I remember the taste of my coffee this morning, and it's a little cold. I need to find my flannel shirt or a sweater or jacket or something, because it's a little cold. I just couldn't find it in the morning. It's somewhere, so that's why I didn't wear it yet. And finally, thinking. Thinking is our sixth sense. I have a picture of a cross, not picture, it's like a wooden statue of a cross that I bought from Amazon. I'm going to show it to you here. And so I bought it a week ago, and in life, no matter what happens, I want to keep focusing on God, and God gets bigger. And again, it does not matter what different kind of religion, God, or universe, higher power, what you believe in, just magnify that. It's faith over fear. Faith and fear, both are imaginary, right? But faith is what can drive out fear. There are two main emotions. One is fear, one is faith, and faith comes with the positivity, uplifting, like anything that you want to feel good about, like peace, joy, love, harmony. All of these are in here, and the fear is actually that creates anger, sadness, whatever, all the negative emotion. If you can keep going down, and you will see it is stemming from fear. So it's hard to tell fear go away, because more you say, more stronger it gets. But one way is like keep increasing that, and then it just fades away, right? So that's why I have it here. That's what I was kind of thinking, and I kind of, any way you can remind yourself that faith is bigger, a lot bigger than fear, because it's all in our mind. It's like practicing, training our mind to focus on that, right? For me, it was really, really important to find a community, and through church life, I found that community, and that helps me. What resonates with you, you have to go with that, and at different phases of your life, it may be something different, and that is okay. Life is short. You just have to go with what resonates with you, what makes you feel better at the deepest core of you. You know how you feel and what moves you. Because in Dale Carnegie book, there's a thing that he says it so nicely, that we move towards what moves us, right? So you have to find out what moves you, because that is what you are going to keep moving towards, no matter who says what. So find what moves you. For me, that community, that support was the biggest thing. And I found that there. It resonated with me, and that's how I'm finding my peace, joy, because more you have of something, you are gonna give it to others. So it's like when your bucket is full, it overflows, right? What are you filling your bucket with? Peace, joy, love, harmony. If you're filling your bucket with those, you're going to give that. But if it's stress, that's what you're going to give to others. So if we want to inspire the world, if we want to inspire, and when I say world, it doesn't have to be like the whole world. We all have a little world around us, people we meet on a daily basis or weekly or monthly. We can inspire them. Every interaction that we have with anybody is a chance for us to inspire them, make them feel a little more, feel good about themselves. And what we tell them based on how they think, we know them for a long time, or even if we know them for a little bit, we know what they like. And it's not about just telling them what they like, but it's more about what inspires them, what moves them, so that they can go do that to other people to make them feel better about themselves. Because this world is, so many people, they take away our belief. Like when I grew up, I came from that small town in India, and I'm here now. I've been here for 19 years. I'm in my 40s. Very few people in my life said that, and nobody said ever directly that I believe in you, but I'm lucky enough that few people, my friends and others, have indirectly said that, I'm good enough. They believed in me. If we are lucky enough, we'll have few people who tell us that, but majority of the people are going to directly or indirectly who try to take away your confidence. So if you can be one of those few people who tell others you believe in them, you see the good in them, that may be the biggest difference in their lives. And we can do that. We can make a difference in so many ways. It's not only through our job. There are many other ways. Every interaction we have with somebody is a way for us to give back to the community, to our little world, because each of this little world that we have makes up that big world. Okay, I talked about a lot of different things, and I'm grateful that you all are so supportive and write this inspiring comments for me. So that is one of the biggest gratitude that I feel grateful about that so much. And I wanted to do this 3 gratitude today on the camera before I finish. So this is 1. Number 2 is I'm grateful that I have this faith, this unwavering faith, and about trusting the process that God is unfolding for me. And I'm grateful for my daughter, that she had this heart on that flag. Oh my God, it makes me feel so happy that 8-year-old, she thought about that. Okay, so with that, I'm going to finish the video. I know I talked a lot today, but this is part of journaling, right? So if journaling resonates with you, even if you're writing it down, making public videos or private videos, keep doing that. They make a huge difference in my last year, where I was and where I am today. My internal world has changed in a good way, and a lot of it is to do with these videos that I have been making, and all of you that coming and inspiring me. That was a big part. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday and the weekend. And as usual, I'm gonna definitely make videos over the weekend. The weekend videos usually sometimes are a little shorter because my daughter is home and schedule is a little different. But I would make sure that I do the videos, and I may make some short video later in the day. I don't know, those are kind of random. I don't think through, just randomly, if an idea pops up, I make them. Okay, so with that, I'll finish the video, and take care of yourself, and